Each Friday here on the show, we're going to ask for your help to find a missing child. I can't tell you how many times on Live PD our spotting a case led to a major break. And so this week, we focus on Kristen Galvin, a 17-year-old from Spring, Texas. Kristen has been missing since January 2nd, 2020. Family members say she was lured out of her grandmother's home by a new friend. The FBI believes she was sold into child sex trafficking. Before her disappearance, she was a member of a junior ROTC, and she was on her school's drill team. I want to bring in my old friend Angeline Hartmann to talk more about Kristen's case. She is the media director for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Angeline, good to see you again, obviously from the family, from the Live PD world. Thank you for coming on the show. All right, so take us through Kristen's disappearance. What do we know about what happened?
Thanks for having me, Dan. It's good to be back and to call attention to these missing cases because they need it so much. Kristen's story is a very sad one. Her mom tells me that they were there on New Year's Day. It's January 1st, 2020. They had the typical, they had black-eyed peas, they had ham, they had a big celebration, and everything seemed normal. They were at her grandparents' house. And at around 7:30 that night, family members go out for ice cream. Kristen says, I'm going to stay back. And she stays home with her grandfather. The grandfather, a couple hours later, realizes that Kristen is gone. And so the family's panicking. They're looking for her. And it turns out when they go back and look at her phone records, that they noticed she was in contact with strange people that they didn't know. And so when we say a new friend, I mean, it was somebody that she was talking to at that time, but this is somebody who is definitely not a friend. And now police have turned this over to the FBI. The FBI has taken over, and this is a confirmed case, they believe, of child sex trafficking.
Now, why do they believe that? I mean, how are they so confident that she was lured into sex trafficking?
Well, I can tell you what the mother told me, and this is pretty recent, as of a couple of months ago. The mom says that investigators came to her and they had a picture, and they said, hey, take a look at this. Can you tell us if this is your daughter? And mom says, of course, this is my daughter. She knew right away, even though, the picture wasn't very clear. Cops didn't want to tell her everything, but they said this picture came from an escort site. They wouldn't say where, the details were limited. And so mom does her own search. She goes through all of these sites, these escort sites, and she actually finds her own daughter on an escort site, sees the name of her daughter, sees more pictures of her daughter, sees how much her daughter's being sold for. And she went and tracked down her daughter. At that time, that ad was for her daughter being sold with another girl in Atlanta, Georgia. Mom gets on a plane, Dan, and tries to track her down. She's walking the streets of Atlanta, Georgia with her poster. Can you imagine that? I mean, this is not the first time she's done it either. She, before she got this from police, from investigators, she was doing this in Houston, walking around, door to door, going into these seedy neighborhoods looking for her daughter. But yeah, so it is, there's limited information from investigators, but they say that's what they believe, that she is in danger. They don't know exactly where she is now. The last possible sighting was in Atlanta, Georgia, and mom doesn't stop. She keeps on going, and she's hired her own private investigator. You have to imagine too, Dan, that this was a couple of months before COVID. So she disappeared January 1st, 2020. So mom was out there every day, and then COVID hit and shut it down, right? Everybody was, locked inside pretty much. And here we are almost 2 years later.
Yeah, this is one of these cases where there's really hope, though, of finding her. I mean, and that's why I think that this is so important that we put her picture up again, if we can, put Kristen's picture up again so people can get one more look to say if anyone has seen her, as you heard Angeline say there, maybe in the Atlanta area, maybe elsewhere. If you know anything,
exactly. We don't know. She could be anywhere at this point. That's exactly right.
Yep. Please call your local police department. And inform them if you know anything. Angeline, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It is great to see you, and let's hope that this helps find Kristen. And if you have any more,
so much,
let me give you
Dan.
another link to. Let me give one more link to go to. We have a link on